Hello everybody, this is Maniac for Bricks, and I am here today with another LEGO Thoughts video. The Brick Fan has reported on his blog website that when getting the Unikitty San Diego Comic-Con exclusive figure, he was also able to find information about these two Unikitties. This is projected on a screen, and he took a photo of it, and this shows us two future variations of Unikitty that will be featured in 2015 LEGO Movie sets. We're getting more in the wave than just the Super Angry Kitty and Batman set we've seen earlier. Now, I'm going to go over my thoughts on these. I will include some other thoughts from the LEGO community, and I ask that you try to stick around for the video. Please give your thoughts at the end so that I can try to explain myself clearly. If I do make any mistakes, kindly let me know in the comments, and if you have any other thoughts, please do not make a fuss about it. Don't make any big arguments in public on YouTube. I don't want to hear a big argument without some kind of reasonable opinion. Okay, so let's get right into it. These are two versions of Unikitty. You can see the body type on them is different. In these two, they're kind of in an upright position, the way you sometimes see cats. They'll have their front legs up and straight, while the back of them is back and and relaxed. So they're not exactly standing; they're more of like an upright sitting. It's kind of a cool thought. And we've also seen that in the LEGO Movie video game. If you keep Unikitty idling in any of the variations, you'll see her in that similar position. So these two variations, you can see, I'll call this one Curious Kitty, and this one Crying Kitty. And this one I call Curious Kitty, just by the expression on her face, both of them, named after the expression. Because the way I found it in the movie, and you can check the screenshots from the movie, this one shows up at the end of the movie, the way that she's shown there, with the entire cast. That's her expression. That's the one time I could find it in the movie. Now, the other one is shown at an earlier point in the movie when she's in the sub and she's crying because she's lost Cloud Cuckoo Land entirely, fallen to pieces. We don't know what set these variations are going to be in, or sets. It could be two, but most likely going to be one just by the way it looks. We don't know what sets they're going to be in, but we of the LEGO community are speculating at most it will be a set that involves the submarine that was built from the movie. Shown here, we have the concept art for the submarine that is shown in the movie. And I think it's pretty close to the one that we actually do see in the movie, so just give you a minute to take a look at that. Remember it from the movie itself. This particular image is from CinemaBlend, BLEND.com, if you want to find the image for yourself. It's close to the representation that we see in the movie, but I know the portholes are larger in the movie than the ones that are seen here, so I don't think it's the exact scale version that we see in the movie. It's likely to be a shortened version. This is not a set photo, just to let you know. This is just concept art. This is just something what the thing could look like, So, just to give you a visual as to what the submarine was from the movie itself. I also have with me attached a photo of Unikitty ready to cry inside of the sub, as seen in the movie. This is a movie screenshot. We also have another movie screenshot where she's inside the sub. You can see the porthole is very large compared to the earlier one. You can see the double-decker couch. We see Emmett comforting her. And this is in the same position that we saw her earlier in the Crying Kitty image, the one shown right here. I have been talking with some other members of the LEGO community, as I found this news through Just Too Good Eurobricks, also known as Just Too Good, on his YouTube page. So you can see these direct comments there. If I do mispronounce anything, you could just read it over on that page. Just scroll down in the comments section. Now, I'll just read my thoughts through, and then I'll try to explain a few things if I need to, but I want to try to just read out what I think if there will be a submarine LEGO Movie set. my thought, basically, no. I don't think that LEGO will make one. I have big doubts about it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they made one. I mean, maybe a little bit surprised. So let's read it. Here are my brief thoughts as to why I doubt there will be a subset. Number 1. The sub had very little to do in the movie. It was built, dove underwater, leaked open, then exploded from filling up with water. And basically, there's no action features. There's not many inside shots of the sub. You just see it built on the outside as it's going down Cloud Cuckoo Palace. Then you see it dive in from the outside, So you're really, there's very little. It's more visual than doing anything. It's not, it is part of the movie, but it's very quickly shown. Number 2, there are hardly any good shots of the inside of the completed sub. All that is seen is the main cast, the double-decker couch, and Batman against the screen when it fills up, when he says, "This is not how Batman dies." Therefore, its interior design will be very lacking in movie accuracy and detail. The inside won't look good, in short. Number 3, what kinds of play features would the sub have? Again, hardly anything interior, but I could see it having secret compartments or rolling on the floor so that the Unikitty arms in the front can move back and forth like in the movie. Let me explain that one. Looking back at our image, in the front, as you see in the movie, these arms are moving back and forth in a swimming motion, kind of like claws moving up and down like this. And I've actually realized this is not Unikitty, this is actually a bear, but it's made by Unikitty. But anyways, I would imagine that there would be a wheel in here, and then maybe a wheel back here to stabilize it. Just something that, as a mechanism somewhere in this section, it would allow the arms to move back and forth as you roll it across the floor. It's a toy. It's Lego. It's meant to have fun. And this is something that would bring it a little bit to life when played with. Okay, so that's number 3. The LEGO Group wouldn't put a double-decker couch in the set, since it already exists in the Sea Cow. That's why it's included in there. Alright, reason number 4. With the lack of use of details and functions, I wouldn't imagine this set to be large. It wouldn't cost over $50 if it was released as a set. It would not be a 1-to-1 scale since it is too large for a set. If it was released in 1-to-1 scale, that means it would be larger than the Sea Cow that was released as a set. The Sea Cow was not released as a 1-to-1 scale, as based on the movie. That one was shrunk down from its, movie debut. This one, I would imagine, would do the same. A lot of other sets also do the same. And I don't think it'd be 50. I think it would be less than $100. I know 50 is kind of short, but I would say at least less than $100. But I would hope less than 50, just because second wave themes usually have less high prices for sets than the first wave. I know Monster Fighters, it had the Haunted Mansion, the biggest, most expensive set of the theme. Aside from that, we've had other themes that do the same thing. Even if they have equal number, Ninjago did for the first wave in 2012. I'm not counting the second wave, but I would count the first wave right after. There were a lot smaller sets or less priced sets than its 2011 debut. What was I going to say? Power Miners and Space Police also had the same principle. They're much back in price. The theme has moved on. The hype for it isn't the same. So releasing sets after that time, it wouldn't really justify it to have something tremendously large as a set. I mean, again, with the exception of, what do I call it? I can't remember. Monster Fighters. Okay, so we have that. Then, reason number 5. What figures would be included or would it include that haven't already been released? Just would have re-releases of Emmett, Wildstyle, the new Unikitties, as shown in the beginning, question mark on Vitruvius, Batman, and probably not Benny. I put a question mark on those figures specifically because they're, LEGO wants to keep those figures at high value. Vitruvius only appears in 4 sets. I think it's 4 sets. I could be wrong. Correct me politely in the comments if I'm wrong. Benny is only available in 2 sets. Batman in the LEGO Movie series is only available in 2 sets. So, keeping the price for them, you know, they want to keep them at a little higher value. Maybe a scuba cop or 2, as shown after the sub explodes. Or a micromanager to investigate the wreckage. I want to make this clear, I'm not putting you down to Just Too Good. I'm just offering up reasons why the set may not exist. He has high hopes for the set, and I'm not trying to insult him with my reasons. I'm just trying to put things in another perspective. And it doesn't mean that he's wrong or I'm right. Now, why I believe the sub could exist as a set. Number 1, these versions of Unikitty are seen with the submarine scene in the movie. Actually, the curious face is seen at the end. I mentioned that before. Number 2, there have been plenty of other models from the movie that made their way into sets, despite their short duration in the movie itself, or set modifications, smaller than the original in the movie, such as, but not limited to, Getaway Glider, Constructo Mech, the Sea Cow, all the 2-in-1 sets, and the Melting Room. Just think about those and how they compare to the movie. And then, okay, so we had that finished up. Now here's a little bit extra to include as far as thoughts. These are some thoughts by Just Too Good, and I'm also going to bring up some by Be Kind So Rewind. That was a very well thought out response. Thanks for providing this. Although I think a lot of your doubts about there being a subset coming can be explained by looking closer at your reasons on why it doesn't exist. The whole LEGO Movie line is built on sets with short durations of screen time. You named a few, but I'd say the only ones that had at least 5 or more minutes of screen time was the Sea Cow, Melting Room, which you did mention, but I think they were at least on there for 5 minutes. Lord Business's Lair, Spaceship, only because it was mentioned a lot. Metalbeard's Duel, just for Metalbeard, and I think that's it. Cloud Cuckoo Palace and Super Secret Police Dropship were on there for about 3 minutes. Super Secret Police Dropship had no inside shots, as in, they built an inside to the set even though nobody knew what it looked like. All the 2-in-1s, as you pointed out, don't show the interior and are on screen for seconds. So again, he's saying, there was something built for that model, but nobody really saw all the functions and the really close details. So, okay. That means, if there was a subset, there will be interior details. You see, they'll add play features when needed, like the launchers in Cloud Cuckoo Palace, or the Cragalizer in Lord Business's Lair. They'll scale it to fit a price, as they did with the Constructo Mech, which I doubt this will be under $80. They'll make alternate face expressions for the characters we've gotten numerous times by then. Look at Emmett and Angry Kitty in Constructo Mech. They'll add the necessary interiors. Look at all the 2-in-1s interiors and whatnot. I don't have the sets, so I don't know, personally. And the Super Secret Police Dropship. And even if they had hardly had anything to do with the movie, many of the LEGO Movie sets didn't either. The 2-in-1 alternate builds weren't even in there, and the Getaway Glider gets built and then blown up in seconds. Okay, that's all just a friendly counter to some of your doubts. Now I also have another one to show. This one actually got removed from the comment section, but I found it first on my email. Sorry about seeing part of the email on the side. But I still wanted to address this one, and I don't know what the tone is, or whatever it is. Just another thought from another LEGO community, an active person in the LEGO community. This is from Be Kind So Rewind, very well partnered with Just Too Good. You can see him a lot on his content. So you criticize the sub, which is part of an action scene, as in escaping and so on, as well as an emotional scene for Unikitty, for not being relevant and had very little to do in the movie. When you defend the Getaway Glider, a piece that was shown very quickly and got blown up in less than 30 seconds. Okay, I think that's good enough thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you later.